Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your continued support. I want to begin by asking you a question. Who do you think is President William Ruto's worst fear? Or what do you think is President William Ruto's worst fear in his first term as a president and between now up to 2027 and even in his quest to be re-elected as the next president? Who do you think? Is it Raila Amolo Odinga? Is he Rigathi Gachagua? Is he Matiang'i or Maraga or Okiya Mutata? Is he Kalonzo Musyoka or Martha Karua? That is the first question. Who do you think is his worst nemesis, his worst fear, one that gives him sleepless nights? Number two, what or who do you think is going to be the determinant in the next election in 2027? Because William Ruto has declared that he's going to defend his seat. But what do you think is going to be the determinant of that election? And I want to submit to you my thoughts. But number one, I want to humbly submit to you that William Ruto's worst fear is not Raila Amolo Odinga or Rigathi Gachagua. Those could come at number 2 or 3 there. But William Ruto's worst fear, one that causes him sleepless nights, are the Gen Zs, the youths of this country. And they are also going to be the determinant, the determining factor in 2027. You can take that to the bank. That is why if you study the politics of today, there is a sudden scramble for the youths. The youths have always been with Raila over the years. And that is why Raila Amolo Odinga, despite his age, Raila was still able to give the government, the subsequent governments from 2007 to date, a run for their money. He's been a thorn in the flesh. And that is also William Ruto's biggest scar. Because William Ruto has been in politics for about 28 years now. When he first vied for the Eldoret North constituency member of parliament in 1997 to date, those are 28 years. And William Ruto has seen almost everything. But if there is an event that William Ruto will never forget, and I believe he has never seen anything like this, are the events that took place on June last year, 2024, when the youths of this country led a demonstration baying for his blood. Ruto must go, when they rejected the Finance Bill 2023. And that has left an indelible mark, unforgettable scar in Ruto's political memory. Anyone who is touching either directly or indirectly on the youths and talking in a manner that could be interpreted as if he's rallying behind the youths becomes William Ruto's number one enemy. And this is exactly what is happening to Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru has been rallying the youths and is telling them it is your time. And he has even been telling his daughter and sons that you need to rise up because it is your time. You don't have any other time. Uhuru reiterated those thoughts, feelings, and sentiments while he was giving a keynote speech in Uganda in a certain forum. And this didn't go down well with William Samoei Ruto and his allies. And William Ruto has charged and unleashed his political mouthpieces, and they are attacking Uhuru Kenyatta.
You're told you're as young as you feel. Me, I feel young. So, but anyway, there are those who are millennials. You have your Gen Zs here as well. Allow me to state this point once more for emphasis. Nobody outside of Africa is coming to save you. Do not have any Do not have any misguided thought that there's anybody who is coming to save you. In the words of Eldridge Cleaver, an American writer and civil rights activist, you are either going to be part of the solution or you are part of the problem. This message holds true today as it did decades ago at the height of America's civil rights movement. The good news also, however, I believe, is that I have witnessed such a pivotal moment to effect change. All the elements necessary to bring about lasting and irreversible change are currently within your grasp as young people. And why, you say, do I say this? And let me just say, for starters, again, as has been mentioned, the demographics, first and foremost, are in your favor. The median age across our African continent in 2025 is 19.3 years, against a global median of 30.4 years. This means that over 65% of all Africans are below the age of 25. You have the numbers, you have the time, you have the energy to get involved and stay involved in governance discussions until you effect the change you wish to see. You have the time.
You know, the government of Kenya Kwanza is always running away from its shadows, very scared. And you wonder why they are scared. While Uhuru Kenyatta was giving that speech, it was a general speech. But the government of the day interpreted that speech to mean ni kama anachochea wanayuthi wa hii country, the youths of the country. And as a result, we have seen junior politicians facing Uhuru, and they have begun a sudden onslaught on Uhuru Kenyatta. And their sentiments are baseless, if you ask me. Because if you listen to them, they are just guilty for nothing. And I think we should ask them why they feel guilty when Uhuru did not even call anybody's name.
Angalia rais wetu ule wa zamani, Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, alikuwa anawahutubia wa Kenya. Akasema ya kwamba serikali yetu hii ambayo inaongozwa na William Ruto ati haiheshimu vijana wa taifa la Kenya. Na alikuwa anaambia vijana wa taifa la Kenya kwamba vijana wa taifa la Kenya wasimame imara, watetee nchi yetu hii ya Kenya ati kwa kutufukuza sisi kwa serikali. Huyo rais wa zamani Uhuru Kenyatta, wakati yeye alikuwa rais miaka 10, alimteua mzee Mudi Yaori akiwa na miaka 91 kuwa chairman ya Sports Fund. Wakati aliulizwa na Wakenya, mbona umemchagua mzee wa miaka 91? Akasema vijana ni waizi, wako corrupt, wanaiba pesa, kwa hivyo afadhali nichague mzee wa miaka 91 kuliko nichague kijana. Leo hii rais wa zamani akisema anapenda vijana, ule ndio unafisi ambaye inafanya Yesu awezi akarudi saa hii mpaka ule mzee ya zamani Uhuru Kenyatta abadilishe mawazo yako. Sisi kama serikali tumekubali kwamba we can be lectured by anybody from everywhere, ili tuweke bidii tufanye wananchi hawa kazi. Lakini kama wewe ulikuwa na nafasi ya miaka 10 kama rais,
na nikaona viongozi wengine wakisema unajua tupangane, tunaambia vijana wajipange, sijui tukuja kufukuza sijui na kina nani. Wakati ulikuwa kiongozi, wewe kiongozi wa Kenya, it is under your watch ya kwamba kulikuwa na betting companies zikapewa licenses betting company 200. Siku hizi vijana wakiamka asubuhi ni hapa chini, watu wamejinyonga, watu wanajiua. Anapata shilingi 200 anaweka kandege, anapata shilingi 500 anaweka kandege, anauza pikipiki anaweka kandege, anauza shamba anaweka kandege. Nasikia kuna kandege kanafanya kakiendana na kila kitu yako, kakienda kakikupeleka hapa chini. It is under your watch that thing was registered. Na ndio maana vijana wengi wako depressed, familia zinaumia, familia zinateseka, wamama wanabaki wajana. Hata siku hizi pia nasikia pia wamama wako na kandege, anapewa pesa ya kwenda kununua ya chama. Nilisikia kuna treasurer alipewa pesa ya chama akaweka kandege, wakati ilipotea akajiua. Tafadhali, it is your problem. Sasa tunajaribu kumaliza hiyo depression ambayo iliingia kwa vijana under your watch, under your leadership. Wacha ku-criticize wakati wewe mwenyewe ndio umekosa. Wewe mwenyewe ukiwa uongozini ndio umekosa. Wewe mwenyewe ndio ulifanya registration. Tutabadilisha sheria hiyo, maneno ya betting, tutabadilisha regulation, ndio vijana wetu warudi kazi, waache kutegemea hizo vitu kuamka asubuhi mpaka jioni.
Hata wino yenye ulikuwa unasainia decisions kama rais hata haijakauka, lakini suddenly umekuwa very clever na umekuwa malaika haraka. Sasa wewe ndio unatupatia lecture kusema fanyeni maandamano, pigeni serikali. Na jana ulikuwa hapa, hata miguu yenye hata ile penye ulikanyaka ukitoka mlango ya State House haijakauka. Suddenly very clever. This exploitation of our young people is not right. And I want to ask leaders across the political divide. This is not an issue for political gain. This is an issue that we must, all of us, act responsibly. Because the youth bulge is not a question of today. It's been happening. But tomorrow also it's going to be worse. We will have higher numbers. If we don't pull together to jenge factories. Mwana Rais ametembea, ameenda kuuza investments za Kenya so that we can get factories, we can get investors bringing money to employ our young people. This is an area that we must, all of us, close ranks, because as a nation, we need to deal with the issues of our young people.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want us to try and dissect the speeches, the attacks on Uhuru Kenyatta on two counts. Number one, I want to humbly inform you why those sentiments fall short of any justification. They don't meet any threshold of any justification of any attack against Uhuru Kenyatta. I want us to look at that. And then I want us to look at just maybe why is it giving them sleepless nights? Why are they afraid? Allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel if you're watching us for the first time. When you do, don't forget to click the notification bell. This will allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release our videos. And please support us by hitting the like button, like our videos, and share them. When you share the videos and when you like them, they really reach a wide range of our audience, and we will really thank you for that support. May God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, memories of June will never be erased from our politicians, especially those members of parliament. So if you look at someone like Didmas Baraza or Sylvester Osoro, you will realize that last year when our youths went to the streets, the main cause, the people who triggered the youth to go to the streets were our members of parliament. Because during public participation, just before the passage of the Finance Bill 2024, Kenyans gave their views, and unanimously they told the members of parliament that we were not ready for that Finance Bill 2024. But because they were listening to their masters that they are now praising today, they ignored our calls and they passed that bill, showing us the middle finger, and Gen Zs went to the streets. The Finance Bill was just a trigger. Kenyans were tired of ministers showcasing their opulence, of members of parliament treating them as trash, yet we maintain them. The offices are maintained by taxpayers' money. Their security and the secretariats and their salaries and their vehicles and everything. And youth decided that enough was enough. And so when you see these MPs still making a lot of noise, they understand what happened. They could not attend churches. Some of them had vacated from their rural homes, and they were now residing in the cities. So anyone talking about the youths becomes an enemy. And I say that their statements fall short of any glory, of any justification, because if they are reminded about, if these memories remind them of what happened in June, They are the co-authors of their own misfortunes because they failed to listen to Kenyans. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta is a Kenyan, and you cannot gag Uhuru Kenyatta. Not only that, when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president and his immediate principal assistant was William Samoei Ruto, William Ruto used to be the opposition within the government. He criticized Uhuru Kenyatta. He never believed in anything Uhuru Kenyatta was doing. He told Kenyans that Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila were people who could not understand the predicaments of our youths. And Uhuru Kenyatta became a lone ranger. So today they have no mandate, any moral authority to start lecturing Uhuru Kenyatta because Uhuru is no longer the president of the country. Uhuru is now a Kenyan, and it is within his right to say whatever he wants to say as long as it is within the constitution. So they cannot purport now that they want to gag Uhuru Kenyatta. They used to do the same. Why do they feel so bitter when Uhuru is now talking and telling the youth that it is their right? Number three, youths are not blind to what is happening. When our youths were kidnapped, maimed, and killed, they created an enmity. And their number one enemy now is the government of the day. Because they went there to picket. And you know that is in the constitution. Instead of listening to them, the government responded by killing them. And you've seen how they create caricatures of William Ruto. At some point, they had placed him in a coffin. They have given him names, Kasongo. You've seen on Twitter, they remind themselves of this that followed entry into parliament, how they were killed, how they were butchered, and they understand. And they remind themselves, they're saying to Lewawa, we will not forget, we have a date in 2027. So let them not think that youths are imbecile. Youths know what is happening. So they should not be blaming Uhuru Kenyatta. Even if Uhuru Kenyatta would go mute, youths understand that they were killed. We have youths who lost their friends. If you look, for example, some of them from the university, they had colleagues there. So if the members of parliament are still going to bury their heads in the sand and they're thinking that Uhuru anachochea wanayuthi, the youths know what is happening. They should not think that youths don't understand what is happening. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot keep on blaming Uhuru Kenyatta for what is going on in the country 2.5 years after elections. It cannot be. We cannot. Let us confront our weaknesses, our problems, and find solutions. And I've always maintained this. Let's say Uhuru Kenyatta anachochea wananchi. Do you know that Kenyans understand if you are working, and they will tell off anyone who wants to rub them against the government? They will tell you, no, William Ruto is working for us, leave us alone. But if you see them scared, they know very well that they have not met up to the expectations of Kenyans. Uhuru Kenyatta is no longer the president. Then who should we blame when things are wrong? Youths understand that it is their time. They are going to determine the next election as long as they become tribeless, as long as they become partyless, as long as they shun bribes, they stop taking bribes, as long as they sensitize each other today and start registering as voters. They will determine the next election, whether Uhuru Kenyatta keeps quiet or not. But why are they afraid? Number one, Uhuru Kenyatta is giving energy and impetus to an already volatile situation. They know very well that the youths have got their numbers. The youths have got a resolve that they have a date with this government and they want to vote this government out. The government butchered them, that is what they say. And they said, we have retreated, but we are waiting for 2027 when the only language that we will listen to, and the only language that we will give is through the ballot. And with that, no one will accuse us of trying to topple the government, and we will show them. So the situation is already volatile. The youths, you've seen them during sports. When they are in clubs, Ruto must go. During the Ruto must go, no rallying call, Uhuru adds his voice, and this is an impetus, energy to the youths. And that is why they are afraid. Uhuru Kenyatta is an international figure. And when he speaks about the youths, he reminds the whole country of the events of 2024 June. And if there is something that William Ruto would want the whole world to forget, is the event of the killing of the youths. So when Uhuru goes and speaks outside our country, he reminds the whole country. People would still go and search why Uhuru is talking about the youths, and they will understand that youths were killed and the videos are there. And Uhuru Kenyatta, knowing very well that the youths were used, they were told they were hustlers, and they were told they were battling, that there were many problems with the dynasties, and they bought that the carrot that was being dangled to them. And Uhuru is now reminding them that do not subject yourself to be hoodwinked again. That's why Uhuru is telling them your time is now and not tomorrow. And this is something that William Ruto knows very well is going to be his major problem ahead of 2027, and that is why they are afraid. They now want to control how Uhuru talks, what he should say, how he should say it, where he should say it. Let me tell you, even if all the politicians are going to go quiet, even if all the politicians are going to be bought and compromised, even if all the members of parliament are going to form even a broader based government, the youths understand who their enemy number one is, and they know how to deal with that enemy through the ballot in 2027. But as I said, sensitize, register as voters, stop the divide and rule. Don't allow yourselves to be divided along tribal lines or political lines. Wake up very early in the morning, go to the ballot, then send a strong message, loudest that has never been heard in this country. Vote and give a bigger margin that no one will even try to steal that election.